Thank you. We'll see you later. Thanks, Andy.
See you later. Eurovision has confirmed the UK will host next year's Eurovision Song Contest after this year's winner, Ukraine, was unable to do so because of the ongoing war with Russia.
Well, no one was happier when Ukraine's Kalush Orchestra won than this man, Timur who's Ukraine's answer to Graham Norton. He commentated on this year's competition from a bunker in Ukraine. You can see that excitement. He joins us now live from Kiev. I'm glad to say good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. And I mean, take us back to that moment because, you know, you were there, you were commentating on the bunker. So much was going on in Ukraine at the time. It must have seemed like quite a surreal experience.
Yeah, good morning from Kiev, the capital of great people. Yeah, that was a wonderful night because, you know, that moment, that was really important for all of us because all our emotions was negative. But at that moment, we realized that the whole civilized world is with us and we are not alone in this war. And that was really important.
And I mean, it was an amazing thing for Ukraine to have won. How does it feel now, obviously, because of the circumstances, you're not able to host the final there in your country. We're going to host it here in the UK. Do you think it should have been postponed? Are you happy about what's happening this year?
No, it shouldn't be postponed, of course, because we have to show to the aggressor that even in these horrible times, we can celebrate, we can be together, we can be united. It's very important. And of course, we are really a little bit upset that we can't welcome all the people next year to Ukraine, to Kyiv or somewhere. But we realize that as for now, there are any safe place, any safe corner in our country, because you never know which next aim Russian missiles will choose. So I think that this is the only one and the only one correct decision for this moment to organize Eurovision next year in the United Kingdom, because your country came second, and according to the rules, you're the only one who can do it.
But Timur, I'm sure people will want this to be a hugely joint production. We're going to want to make sure this is us hosting this together. There are now thousands of Ukrainian refugees living in our country. They should be in the auditorium. We're going to need top Ukrainian commentators to come over and help explain to us what's going on. So maybe we can entice you over into the GMB studio for the contents. But if you were coming over and you were choosing which UK city would you most like to see it located in, where would you choose?
Doesn't matter, because there are a lot of different factors which we has to recognize before choosing the host city, starting with the venue, starting with the infrastructure and so on. I think every single British city could host next year's Eurovision, starting with London and Manchester and so on, so on, so on. Doesn't matter.
So which UK city will be worthy enough to take on the song contest? A number of places have already confirmed they're putting in an official bid. Glasgow has put its hat in the ring, as have 9 other cities, including London, Manchester, Liverpool. I would just like to declare that Norwich and Leeds will both be bidding, and Nottingham. They may not have decided that yet, but I'm pretty confident they will. Claire McColgan is Director of Culture in Liverpool. She joins us now.
Morning.
Is Liverpool the right place, Claire?
Oh, of course it is. I mean, we're a UNESCO City of Music. And I think just listening to the person on before me, just the thought of Liverpool doing it with the compassion that Liverpool people have, and the fact that we could fill every single part of this city with brilliant music, but also kind of do loads of community work and schools work like we do with all our big events, would just be a wonderful opportunity for Liverpool.
There isn't long to prepare, is there? I mean, you know, are you confident you can kind of get across this? And also, when we think about the cost of it, it can be a lot for whoever's hosting, can't it? You know, I was seeing Azerbaijan was said to have spent £48 million hosting in 2012. Goodness.
Yeah, and I hope the UK government will support whichever city decides.
Not sure they got that much spare.
But I think the kind of key thing about Liverpool is we did the events research programme where we opened up the first nightclub, we opened up the first festival during COVID. We worked very quickly, and Liverpool has got an infrastructure where we can put an event on in a really short time, but the event is really impactful as well, so we can shut the whole city down. So even though the show itself is in the arena, we've got all these kind of iconic spaces that are known across the world. Liverpool is known across the world, that we can dress as Ukrainian. We could just do some really, really, really beautiful things that I don't think any other city could do.
I think we need to make sure that the two leadership contenders get asked in tonight's debate whether they'll stump up the cash.
Yes.
I can guarantee they will both
really
say
good idea.
yes.
That'd be great.
There you think? And do you think I'm right to say that this should be like a co-production with Ukraine? We need Ukrainian families in the audience, we need Ukrainian presenters on the stage. We need to make sure this is a really joint thing between Britain and Ukraine.
Oh, completely, absolutely. And kind of not just that, it's the work that we can do leading up to it as well that I'm really interested in, the work that we can do with our schools and with our community groups, how we could link them with schools in Ukraine, how we can link our communities to kind of talk about the history of Ukraine and the passion of Ukraine. And I think that will be a real difference with this Eurovision, you know, because it's not a typical Eurovision, is it? It's got to be added to that co-produced show, but also the before and after it, I think will be really, really good as well.
OK, well, thank you, Claire, for your bid for that. Let's go over to Timur and see what he thought of, you know, your pitch for Liverpool. Timur, you know, I don't know what you made of that one, though, but, you know, wherever it is, I guess it's going to be a special show. It's going to be a show of solidarity and bringing everyone together, isn't it?
Definitely. I completely agree that next year's Eurovision will be a very special edition of the contest because all of us remember that 66 years ago, Eurovision was created to unite all the nations around the peace. And right now, when we're struggling from the most horrible war since the Second World War on our continent, it is very important to stay united, to show that even in these dark times, we can celebrate through the music, through love, because our soldiers on the front line right now are fighting for the life.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, isn't it, on an ongoing basis. Timur, thanks very much for joining us. Stay safe, and we hope that you'll be able to come over here, to see us in the studio, to enjoy all that build-up to the Eurovision final and then to experience it itself. It would be great to see you and have you involved. And Claire, thank you for joining us with the bid for Liverpool to be the host city there.
It's just gone 8:30, competition time, the chance to win £95,000 in tax-free cash. Andy is in France this morning. Andy, are you there?
Bonjour.